Eating in, it doesn't have to be boring. Today we're going to show you how to make a delicious spinach salad with warm bacon dressing with Chef John Slattery from 4 Main Street Restaurant in Huntington. Sounds amazing, and I bet it tastes even better.
Right. Mostly because we're using some of the best ingredients from as local as possible. It's a great time of the year. Spinach is one of those things that we were able to start picking early in the season, but continues to grow. As the plant continues to grow, more leaves keep coming out, so we can just keep picking off leaves as we grow.
Is this baby spinach, or is this regular
It would grow into large spinach. This is just the end tops. This is a slightly different variety. This is the New Zealand spinach. I brought more of it. But as you continue to pick it off the stalk, it'll continue to grow and make more leaves as long as the weather is happy and the plant is happy. So.
Right. Okay. So and it's also it's a delicious green, obviously, but it's also really green, so it's really good for you. Yes,
really good for you. Lots of high in iron and all those other great things that come in spinach. And then we also have some other native ingredients. For the salad, we've got some field mushrooms and some red onions, some low-acid yellow tomatoes that we grew, and then we have some native eggs from one of the farms in Huntington. And so we're going to make a nice little salad with a hot bacon vinaigrette.
Now, this is a low-acid tomato, so is it like it have a different flavor to it?
It's still very great flavor. It just doesn't have quite the bite that I've noticed, even when they're fully ripe, as some of those really nice red ones. So those people that have dietary restrictions, you could make a sauce with this, and it would be better for you, or wouldn't have as much trouble with the acid reflux. And
right, exactly. Oh, wow. That's pretty, too.
What we did while we were waiting to come on was that we rendered off, which is lightly cooked, some bacon. And this is some really nice applewood smoked fatback bacon that we use at the restaurant. And we'll get that. We're going to use that fat here.
Oh, you are.
And then we're going to take the fat, which is.
Are we making the dressing with that?
We're making the dressing. Okay. What we can do while the fat is a little too hot, so we're going to wait a second.
All right.
And we're going to put some of the leaves of the spinach in the bowl.
Yeah, I've never seen this. Is like really hearty spinach.
And some of the, this is awesome. This is New Zealand spinach. Farmer Fran grows this one for me. It's just excellent. We use it in all kinds of dishes in the restaurant, including when we make the sea basil later, we're going to put a nice tomato Florentine, which uses the spinach over the top. So we've got some sliced red onions and some sliced tomatoes and some mushrooms. And then we're going to put a little bit of the egg all chopped up.
Lots of protein in this salad.
And so we've got the hot bacon in the pan, the dripping.
Hot bacon fat in the pan, right?
Hot bacon fat.
Yeah.
And so in the drippings, we're going to add a little bit of shallots. I actually brought some whole shallots and what they look like when you buy them in the grocery store, because Seth is always asking. So this is like a little onion versus a red onion, but then we've chopped it up nice and fine.
Good. And yeah, so you really chopped it up
As we talked, it's really a secret of making a lot of salad dressings. It just helps them come together and get nice flavor. So we've got a little bit of shallots in with our bacon grease.
Okay.
And then we're going to add a little bit of sugar.
Sugar. So you just kind of eyeball it, right?
For this, because we're just making a little bit for one order. So this is something that sometimes they would do tableside in one of those high-end restaurants where you could still flambe and do that stuff in the dining room.
Oh, wow. I've never seen a salad dressing tableside.
We've got the sugar starting to cook up with the bacon fat and the shallots.
Yeah.
And we're just going to add some cider vinegar.
Yeah. And you whisk it?
And whisk it together.
And you didn't put any oil in there yet.
No, no oil, just the bacon fat.
Oh.
So we've covered the oil base, and we've got this nice, sweet, vinegary dressing, and that comes together really nicely.
Now, could you, if you wanted to cut back on the bacon, or not have the bacon fat, cut down on fat, could you use a lighter oil for it, or
you could make a hot dressing. I mean, it wouldn't have quite the pizzazz or all any of that smoky flavors that we get. And then we've got a little bit of the stone ground blended mustard that we use at the restaurant. We're going to whisk that in. So we've got a nice mustard vinaigrette.
Oh, okay. And does it have to be the stone ground kind? Can you use? It wouldn't be the same with the yellow mustard, right?
You wouldn't get all this nice little grainage in your dressing.
Yeah.
And it adds a little bit of viscosity and thickness because it's. And we're just gonna pour that warm dressing over the ingredients.
So the bacon flavor just comes from the bacon fat. There's no actual pieces of bacon in there yet.
Well, we plate it on a plate. If you want to grab us one of those pretty plates, we can put it on a plate.
I would love to, John. When you plate it, that's where the bacon.
Yeah, we'll put some bacon on top and some of the eggs that are sliced all pretty.
Yeah. Okay. There's a pretty.
Look at that.
Pretty plate.
And now the bacon is the lettuce is slightly wilted from the warmth of the bacon, and we got all those nice ingredients tossed in this dressing. And then we put some nice pieces of fully cooked bacon on there, and maybe a couple of pretty slices of the egg.
It's like we're in a restaurant now, but you can make this at home.
You can make this at home. It's just putting your ingredients together in a nice manner.
Yep.
And utilizing the freshest stuff we can get. So this is a beautiful spinach salad. And that'll make a first course for our spinach meal.
Because later on, you're going to show us how to make.
We're going to do this is a native sea bass, was caught by a friend last week, and we're going to sear it and make a tomato Florentine sauce like a scampi to go over the top of it when we come back.
Amazing, and you'll show us how to do it.
Absolutely.
Thanks so much, Chef John. Always nice to have you here.
Thanks for.
Welcome back to Massaville. We're back with Chef John Slattery from 4 Main Street Restaurant in Huntington. We're finishing up we finished up the spinach salad, but now we are going to finish the whole entire meal with a sea bass.
Yes, more native ingredients, more using of the beautiful spinach that's available all summer long. A friend of mine was fishing last weekend, and they were off the Cape, and they caught some beautiful striped bass. So they brought me a little bit. So
lucky you.
I brought some in. I simply salt and peppered it and seared it in a hot pan with a little bit of, still had some of the bacon fat in it.
That's it? Just salt and pepper?
Just salt and pepper and a beautiful crust on the sea bass, and we've seared it up. And what I did was to make sure, because it was a thick piece of fish, once I had seared both sides, I put the lid on the pan and removed it from the fire and let it sit for a few minutes. And that allowed it to finish cooking through, kind of steaming in its own juices, and without burning it, adding more heat from the bottom.
Right.
And so now we can put them on the plate.
It smells great. I'm not even a seafood person, but it smells really good.
Sea bass is really great because it has flavor, but it's a mild flavor. It's not as plain as cod or scrod or haddock or pollock. It does have a little bit of fish taste, but it's really nice in that it's clean and it accepts other flavors really well.
So now that's all you did is you just cooked it in the
seared,
bacon?
salt, pepper, a little bit of bacon fat, so I didn't use any other grease or waste any other oil.
Well, not all of us, though, have friends who can catch fish for you, so you can always go to the grocery store.
Absolutely, and you can do this with any piece of fish or a piece of chicken. The Florentine process is just a great way to make a scampi with spinach and tomatoes, basically.
Perfect. So how do you get started with that?
So I've got the pan hot here with a little bit of oil in it, and we're going to see how hot it is, and we're going to add the shallots first because they burn slower than garlic. And we want to make sure we don't burn anything this time. Perfect, we're just sizzling. So we're going to add in some shallots.
Okay.
A little bit of garlic.
Garlic, of course.
Some pepper.
Fresh ground pepper.
A little salt. Fresh ground Himalayan pink sea salt.
The Himalayan sea salt, that brings out flavor?
It has more, because it's a sea salt from ancient mountains, it has a little bit more minerals and things that are good for you in addition to the salt. And it has a nice clean flavor. So we've got the shallots and the garlic and cooking in the oil, and then we're going to take some of these beautiful tomatoes. These are grown just down the street from the restaurant. We use them. Farmer Fran grows this variety called a mountain fresh tomato, and it's really interesting. As you experiment with different tomatoes, you'll notice that different kinds of tomatoes have different contents inside. Some are juicier, some are for paste, some are for salads. The mountain fresh is awesome because even all the way through the middle flesh is solid and hard. There's almost no juice in these tomatoes.
Oh my gosh.
So you can use them seeds and all and not have to worry about, sometimes when we do other things, we just only use the flesh on the outside and throw the seeds in the middle away.
For salads, sometimes you have to take them out because it's too much water.
But this mountain fresh variety is just really nice because it's all meat. But it's all sweet, it's very flavorful. Then we'll use 1 or 2 of those yellow low acid tomatoes.
Okay, so then you chop up the tomatoes.
Yep, kind of large.
This is just a Florentine that you can use for on top of, like you said, chicken or anything.
Anything. So then, no, it's basically a scampi. So we got garlic and the shallots in the pan. We're gonna add the tomatoes.
Easy enough. You just have to. You don't have to chop them up too small.
No, we're gonna, because this is gonna be pretty on the top. And then what I've done is the Florentine is Italian dishes that include spinach. They use the word Florentine, basically, is all it means. So we've got some of that New Zealand spinach. Yep. We chopped it up. We got it in the pan with the garlic and the shallots.
I could eat it just like that, John.
Pretty good.
Yeah,
and then a little bit more salt and pepper. And then we're just gonna put a little bit of white wine so that the spinach steams down.
Yeah.
Got roaring rumble going.
Okay, that is beautiful. And then you just finish it up, put it on top of your...
The last step is we add a little bit of butter.
Butter, of course. Everything's better with butter.
Everything is better with butter. Butter at the end of a dish like this, it becomes a thickening agent so that the sauce is a little thick and doesn't just run off everything.
Oh, it's beautiful. Well, we're going to let you finish that up, John. In the meantime, we're going to thank our friends at DeRocher Florist because